Question 8. We repay 8,000 per year on the loan from point 7 from our bank account. Point 7, question 7 basically, from our bank account. Account for the payment that must be made next year also. Right, now there's two things to this. Firstly, we obviously make the payment for this year. That's straightforward enough because when we're accounting for interest, we account for it in what's called an off-book account. So we don't need to, for our accounts, do anything further than just this transaction. But secondly, it says account for the payment that must be made next year also. Now that actually is quite straightforward because you don't actually have any choice with that, which you'll see this. Right, so first off, we have got our long-term loan from the previous question. Long-term liability, sorry, the loan was the long-term liability for 5 years, and that was 40,000. 40,000, sorry, that we did to the bank for 40,000. And so, like, of course, in our bank current asset, we've got 40,000. Right. Now we're saying we're paying 8,000 per year, so obviously as it's over 5 years, it's just the capital that we're repaying at this moment. Right? So it's just, sorry, it's only just the capital, right? So if we're repaying the capital, naturally, of course, if we're going to do this, we have here with the long-term liability. We don't pay long-term liabilities anytime soon. These are, because it's long-term, it means it's for more than 12 months. Which means that we need to create an account that can facilitate us making a payment short term. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, of this 40,000, how much of that is due short term? Right. Now, if we're going to do an account for short term or less than 12 months, you know, it can be called a loan. Now, we know that instead of being long term, that means it's a current liability, and any current liability we call payable because we need to pay it. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this loan, and we're doing it over 5 years, and we're doing it in equal installments of 8,000. So we're just going to start breaking it up into the parts that need to be paid. This is the first year of the loan, this is the first payment. So therefore what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 8,000 away from this loan. And I'm going to say here that we need to pay that 8,000 this year instead of having it up here for more than 12 months, because obviously we're paying it now, it's less than 12 months. So this means that if we're to do a quick calculation in this account, you'd see that this is now 32,000, and of course 8,000 is due now. And that's like how it works, but you don't need to do that. You don't need to total that up until we've finished all the accounts. So now we've got 8,000 that's due now, and according to this question, we paid it. So if I paid it, it means that I took money from the bank. Remember, this is the bank here. I took 8,000 from the bank and I paid it. And that's pretty much it. So that's the transaction that occurred this year. I moved 8,000 to be due in 12 months and then I paid it. Now it says here that the payment, the account for the payment that must be made next year also. But we actually don't really have a choice with that, even if it didn't say that in the question. And the reason is, we know that this is for more than 12 months. And we know that this is for less than 12 months. Now, in this example, we're saying we're paying it once a year. So if, for example, this payment was made, we can pick any random date. I mean, let's just say that this payment from the bank was made on the 1st of October. On the 1st of October, let's just pretend. And these accounts from, say, 2015. So it's from the 1st of October. That means that the next payment is going to be the 1st of October the next year, like say in that case 2016. So if that's the case, all of a sudden, once we get to the 1st of October, the payment is now less than 12 months. which means that it's no longer long-term, it's now current. So what ultimately that says, as soon as this payment is made, it means that the next payment is within 12 months. Anything that's within 12 months becomes current. So what we can do is with this, try to come up with a different colour to try and make it clear. We have to again, as soon as that payment is made, put the money due here. So it still comes to the same thing, because if we were to total this up at this point, this is now 24,000. Down here in the payable, because like this, the increase here, we've got 8,000, because the plus minus the minuses, the plus minus the minuses. So we've got 8,000, so that's 32,000. And in our bank we've got minus 8,000. So we're working our way through the loan bit by bit. And so next year we will pay the 8,000 here, and again, as soon as that happens, we draw it down. And we'll do this for the 5-year period until it is all complete. And that's basically the question itself. That's us accounting for the payment for this year, and then for the payment that is due next year.